because it is a transitional zone, it would kind of go away from the idea of spot zoning and provide kind of a buffer from that IB zone to that residential zone of R2. We are recommending approval, and the Morristown Regional Planning Commission recommended approval at their June meeting.
At this time, we will have open the public hearing for ordinance number 3446. If you wish to address this item, please come forward to the podium, state your name and address. You'll be limited to 3 minutes. Seeing no public comments, we will close the public portion hearing. We will now ask for a motion from council for ordinance number 3446.
I'll make that motion.
I have a motion from Councilmember Bivens. Do we have a second? We have a second from Councilmember LaBelle. If you'd like to have any discussion, please press request to speak. Seeing none, please enter your vote. Seven yeas, no nays, ordinance passed. Next item come before council is ordinance number 3447. This is a final reading. It's an ordinance to amend the municipal code of the city of Morristown, Tennessee, Title 14, Chapter 2, zoning ordinances. And this has been changed from the original motion that was passed on first reading. So therefore, if you wish to speak to this, you may speak to everything that was put on the first one. But it has been changed, and it's Chapter 9, LB in its entirety, and substituting in lieu thereof, following and replacing the LB local business district. So, even though it is not the same as was on the first reading, you may address any issues that were on the original reading, but we are voting on just the LB local business. So at this time, if you have any comments you wish to make on ordinance 3447, the floor is now open for public hearing. If you wish to speak on it, please come to the podium, state your name and address. You'll be limited to 3 minutes.
Betsy Stibler, 2040 North County Road. And since you said that we could speak on what was the original portion of this, I just wanted to speak to the part that staff has pulled off about the mixed-use district and reiterate what we came before you last meeting and stated, which is that taking a mixed-use district down to its lowest possible variant level at 5 acres, I think does not provide Morristown with the economic base of residences in a commercial district. I have spoken with Melissa multiple times, and bless her heart, I know I'm not supposed to address her, but I really appreciate her willingness to listen and to talk about this sort of issue. So, that being said, when we come forward again and there's another reading on the actual mixed-use district, I would like for, in the meantime, to ask you to please, do a little bit of homework on what those actually look like in reality, not just the paper definitions, and kind of be ready to visualize what we're going to bring before you and discuss in the mixed-use district ordinance in the future. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Is there any other comments? Hearing none, we will close the public portion of this ordinance number 3447. The chair will now entertain a motion on ordinance 3447. Do we have a motion?
Just for clarification, if I may, Mayor, it is staff's recommendation that you consider the amended ordinance, not the ones you passed on first reading. Our recommendation is those other districts be referred back to planning commission for further consideration. So it's staff's recommendation that you consider at this point in time the amended ordinance.
Yes.
I make that motion.
We have a motion from Councilmember LaBelle. Do we have a second? We have a second from Councilmember Bivens. This time, if you wish to discuss any items, please request to speak on it. Councilmember Sanders.
Yes, sir. I would like to say that I appreciate the residents bringing this to our attention when we had the meeting, and it made me look at that from a different perspective, and then I appreciate Melissa and this and coming back and seeing what is the best fit. Especially since some of the parcels that have been discussed and proposed for this were not going to fall even in that 5-acre range at that particular point in time. And just for clarification, looking at the old ordinance, we're just talking about the uses permitted there and the definition of local business. That's all we're voting on in this
Yes,
amendment.
just the replacement of local business, based on the input from the community, which we always appreciate in the planning department. We like to see our community involved and have input on our zoning. We went back and we're looking at other communities, what they have done recently. There are several other communities that have revised their mixed-use district to make it more usable in this particular economy. And so we're looking at those particular communities, what they did, and hopefully going to come back to the planning commission with a full report that we'll pass on to city council as well. What you're revising now in the local business district, revise some of the uses, because pretty much before it just referred to the OEP district as a use, and some of those uses has changed from what we would really want in a local business. It did change the purpose of the local business district. Previously, before that was kind of the grandfathered in unusual district, and so this particular local business that we're looking at would be more of a transitional zone in older retail neighborhoods, and it offers that movable setback that is in there, and encourages, walkability and parking in the rear and the side versus on the front of the street.
Are there any comments or any more discussion by council? Melissa, just for the information of council as well as anyone that's here, could you tell me when this will be coming back up for the planning commission?
I hope to be able to have the report completely done by July 10th, which is our next meeting next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday?
I'm pretty close to that.
That's good, that's fast. All right, you are voting on ordinance number 3447, the amended ordinance. Are there any other questions from anyone? If there is not, please enter your vote. Mine's not locking. Is anybody else? There you go. 7 yeas, no nays, ordinance passes. Next item comes before council will be new business. Number 9, awarding of bids and contracts. 9C, first item will be award bid for new 8-inch gravity sewer extension, Andrew Johnson Highway, an old Russellville Pike abandoned Joe Carter Pump Station project to MG Hall in the amount of $60,555 of the city. Mr. Perry's money.
Yes, sir. This allows us to abandon the pump station and replace with the gravity sewer system. It's an objective we have any place we can to take a mechanical system out of the operation and let go with gravity is to our benefit both economically and operationally. We have received bids and would recommend approval to MG Hall in this amount.
Any questions of city administrator? Hearing none at this time, Chair will entertain a motion to award a bid to gravity sewer extension, Andrew Johnson Highway, and Old Russell Pike abandoned Joe Carter Pump Station project to MG Hall in the amount of $60,055. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
We have a motion. Councilmember Senator, we have a second. If there's any discussion, please request to speak. Push your request to speak. Seeing no discussion, please enter your vote. 7 yeas, no nays, bid is awarded. Next item will be award demolition bids. Will we do these all at once, or should we do these?
One motion is adequate if you're comfortable with it. That we recommend award of the bid to DOD excavation for the West 5th North Street and All Park construction demolition for the Hendrick Street location. This is part of our ongoing effort to remove substandard structures from the city. You do have provided funding in the budget. We recommend approval of the bids as presented.
I make a motion to approve.
We will, all in favor say aye on that motion, and then we'll vote on it. That's all I would do. We didn't really need a motion, we got it by consent, but that's fine. So we'll handle this as Paul LaBelle making the motion. Councilman LaBelle, who second?
I second, Mayor, but we don't, you can just make the motion that we approve both of them at the same time.
Yes, that's right, or you can do it by, either way, you can do it by consent, and you don't have to have a motion, put them all in one, otherwise I have to vote on them. So I was in order. All right, any discussion? Have you got the,
Where is this at? Where is this located, these houses?
Well, 125.
I'm sorry, for clarification, are we making a motion to, Mayor, for clarification, are you making the motion or are you doing it by consent?
we are voting on the award bids, that is
Okay.
the motion.
Okay.
Mr. Morris wants to manage the project. Are you concerned about the location? Jay, can you talk about where these houses are?
The house on West Fifth is up close to the hospital on the west side. The Hedrick Street is over off of Cave in that area, Center Street.
Did I answer your question? On where it is.
Thank you.
Any other questions? And now, we will take a motion, and I believe Councilmember Center will make the original motion, is that correct? That would be Councilmember LaBelle, the first motion.
Do we have a
Is there a
second?
second? Second was Councilmember Jinks. All right, is there any discussion?
Just, Mayor, are we voting to approve both of these?
We
at
are
this
voting
time?
to approve.
So we're not having a motion to motion? Okay. Thank you. I just would like to take this, and speak.
You go right ahead, I just forgot to.
I would just like to thank staff for being proactive, and Mr. Moore, and our city administrator, for doing what we talked about doing a year ago at our retreat, and that was address some of the housing and other structures in the city that needed to be addressed in this manner, and for putting that in the budget. And last year, we pulled it out of the fund that the council had, that we could, that we did 30,000 last year in this, and I think you have gotten very good bids to do this, and it'll be a boon to the neighborhood, and I thank you very much, and thank you, Mayor, for letting me speak.
Thank you, Councilman. Are there any other discussions?
Yes. I hit speak for that.
Yeah, I tried to click on it.
Okay. Where's this money coming from? Is it in our budget or is it coming out of our kitty?
It's in the budget
This
this year.
this is budgeted in the budget.
All right, get it taken.
That's what it
This
says
is the
in
first meeting, we have to do that today.
So,
Are there any other discussions? Hearing none, please vote. Jinx.
I'm sorry. Oh, I'm asleep right here.
7 yeas, no nays. Next item, Temple Council, item number 3, award a contract for professional airport services to LPA Group with an amount not to exceed $39,345 for the new fueling facility, and an amount not to exceed $110,731 for the terminal area aircraft apron expansion. What the city administrator will explain.
Council will recall, we have some grant-funded projects for improvements to the airport. Council has previously authorized us to select the LPA Group as the prime proposer for the design of these services. What we're doing tonight is coming back with a contract that actually put in place the relationship between us and LPA to do the design. These are projects we're moving forward on. We have grant funding. You have also provided for the match. So we're ready now and excited to move forward. We do have a representative here from the LPA if you have any questions about the project from their firm, but we would recommend approval of the contract as presented.
Are there any questions of the representative from LPA?
Mayor, it might be nice just to see what they look like,
That probably be good.
and maybe you can say a few words.
Yes, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. On behalf of our firm, the LPA Group, Union of Michael Baker Corporation, we just want to say we sincerely thank the the city staff and engineering staff for selecting our firm for the on-call consultant for your airport. We're extremely excited to get started. We had a very productive scoping meeting with Mr. Cox and Mr. Brand and Mr. Fielder a couple weeks ago. We have a very good grasp of the vision for where we see the airport going, and we're excited to get started. So just want to say thank you very much.
Any questions? This time, Chair will entertain a motion to award contract for professional airport services to LPA Group with an amount not to exceed $39,345 for the fueling facility and an amount not to exceed $110,731 for the terminal area aircraft. Do we have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion from Councilmember LaBelle. Do we have a second? We have a second from Councilmember Pippins. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, please enter your vote. Seven yeas, no nays. Next item comes before council is item 9E, it's board commission appointments. Item number 1 is city council's consideration of Mayor Thomas's nomination to the Morristown Utility Commission for a 5-year term to expire on August 1st, 2016, by Mr. Tom Strait. This time, Chair will entertain a motion.
I'll make the motion to reject that nomination.
We have a motion to reject nomination. We have a second.
Second that motion.
We have a second. Is there any discussion?
I'd like to say something about that, Mayor, if I can.
Should just hit the discussion box.
Request to speak.
Yes.
I'd just like to say, this is what, 21 times? There have been nobody qualified again. I think that's amazing. And also, back in 2001, when this was set up this way, it was set up as a referendum for the people. I always thought and still think that it should have been voted on by the people in the referendum. But, back in 2001, all the voters, 72% of voters voted this way for on referendum to be this way, set up in 2001. There's even 2 members still on the city council that voted for it to be that way. Also, the mayor wanted it that way. Mr. George McGuffin wanted it that way, and the MUS wanted it that way. Matter of fact, MUS wanted it that way so badly that they advertised in the newspaper, and they also put signs in the trucks to vote for this, because it was a good thing. There was 3 or 4 things on that to vote for, but 72% of the people voted for this. I'd like to ask Mr. Jesse, back then, 2001, MUS, they did advertise this, and they did put it in the paper, and they did put signs. Would you go along with the Mr. Sid and Knoxville and Mats, or MTS, I'm sorry, they agreed that this was illegal to do that, and their opinion was, I think I showed you their opinion was, I just wanted your advice on it,
From what I recall of that issue going on with a referendum, there's a fine line between a governmental entity providing information on an issue as opposed to advertising an issue. And I think it was the general managers and the board's position at that time that they were trying to get information out to people on the various aspects of that referendum.
But was it not illegal to use ratepayers' money to do that, though?
No, it isn't.
It is not illegal?
No. Not to inform the public.
It was the, what is it called?
Impasse.
I'm sorry, impasse. I have a letter saying it was, and I think I showed it to you. Before. Along with the bonus things, we talked about the bonus, and then I showed you that letter about that too.
I do recall that.
I just wanted to say that, you know. It's almost over with, though, isn't it?
Are there any other comments? I'll end the discussion. Well, I would have preferred to see it come back as a referendum, but we will go with what has been passed. So at this time, if you would, please enter your votes.
Was that no or yes?
Yes,
I
it's
can't
fine.
remember.
Well, I voted no, so I don't know what you're.
I mean, you know how we all get confused, don't you?
I know, I can't even.
Confused situation.
All right, 5 yeas, 2 nays. All right, so the motion passed. Next item to come before council will be the city administrative report. Tony?
I know that we've been here a good while already today, and we have more yet to go, so I'll try and be brief. I intended to distribute a list, and I'll do so in our break between this meeting and the workshop. But we're about to move forward with our next phase of street paving from our bond fund. You'll begin to see equipment being deployed around town, and our first phase of our next bit of street paving will begin here shortly. So we begin to see some of the blacktop going down. We'll advertise more widely in terms of the streets that will be paved, but I think you'll be pleased to see the improvements. Again, we've been trying to urge people to be safe over the holiday. It's 4th of July is a traditional use of fireworks, but it's not allowed in the city limits, and it is given the heat and dryness of the community is especially dangerous. We would urge people to exercise judgment and foresight in their celebration of the Independence Day tomorrow. And finally, I just want to remind council and let the audience know that following the regular meeting here, we will have a workshop presented by Mr. Dunn concerning a report on our ongoing efforts to improve our sanitary sewer system. So hang around, we'll learn some more about that project here very shortly.
Did I hear you say you was going to give us a sheet stating the streets is going to be black?
Yes, sir. I intend to do that, and I'll give it to you here in a minute.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Thank you, Tony. We'll now have comments from the mayor and council. I would like to just bring people up to date on our health clinic news. There's some really good things happening with the joint venture of the county and the city. To date, the health risk assessment program, that's a program designed to early detect any potential health problems with our employees. It has resulted in a potential savings to the city of $1,121,217 from early detection based on records from December the 1st, 2011 through May 31st, 2012. Now, that is a successful program. The financial report for the clinic shows an overall cost that is actually 35% under the proposed cost. So the program is yielding positive results for the joint efforts of the county and the city, and I think that we'll see other good things come from that. Two other things, actually 3 other things I'd like to mention to you about what's going on in our city. Morristown will host District Little League 11 and 12-year-olds tournament starting July the 5th, 2012 at Popkin, and District Junior Boys 13 through 14 years old tournament will be at Sherwood. So there's 2 park activities there with Little League. I wanted to let you know that the storm from Sunday did do significant damage to Sherwood perimeter fence along the Board of Education side entrance. Other parks have plenty of limbs and debris, but about 80% of that has been cleaned up at this point. One other note, Rotary Disc Golf Course at Frank Marino is now under construction and is projected to be finished the 1st of September. And staff has entire course defined and is presently pouring concrete tee boxes. And I would like to issue a challenge to our staff and council that whenever the disc course is finished, that we divide up into teams and have a game of disc golf. I think it would be a blast. Other than that, council, it's done.
You gonna wear shorts?
I'd like to report to the Finance Committee. We had a meeting today at 4 o'clock before this meeting, and it was our second meeting. I'll report to you also that we met on June the 21st at 4 o'clock. Both meetings were with our auditors. It was a pre-audit discussion. Mr. Jones, who is our auditor, talked about the audit and his timeline. He has already begun gathering information and plans to begin the full-blown audit process on July 15th. July and August will be gathering information and plans to have the documents due to us by December 15th. Today, we brought back, he had us fill out a questionnaire, we brought that back and turned it in to him, so this is something that we've done as standard. He talked about the fact that we now have a uniform travel policy, and he gave us some ideas on some things that we need to talk about and discuss those with Tony about the future, looking at the state. And it would be to do with the regulating the, what was that, Tony, we talked about organizational system controls, and referred us to the state plan.
Right, there's a model policy out there that we'll look at to begin our development policy that will work for us.
It's very complimentary on the changes that we've made in the finance department, looking into controls and checks and balances, and that we are moving forward on that. The other thing that we talked about doing, and I brought before the council, the entire council, is that in order to monitor our finances, the finance committee is made up of 3 people, but I've always made that as chair open to all council members. So all council members are invited to all meetings, have all documents, as they do all the time. So your finances are monitored not just by a few, but by the entire council and the staff who's available to us at all times. In order to come back into a routine that we had previously, we are going to start having finance committee meetings as we had previously once a month. You can do that on your calendar. It'll be the second Tuesday of each month at 4 o'clock, preceding that second Tuesday meeting. It's very hard with all these gentlemen who have very busy schedules to get them all lined up. So Tuesday was already on the docket as a meeting date. So 4 o'clock on Tuesday will be that meeting time. So that's my report from the June 21st and July 3rd finance committee, Mayor.
Right, and if council is wondering why this meeting is extremely short, it's because I've skipped over item number 11. Item number 11 is communications and petitions, so we'll get to hear that later.
I have something else, Mayor.
All right, you may do that, and then we'll do the
I've got a question for the attorney.